Nick, not a lot of strong, I'd say, like U.S. good juniors slash good college squash players do end up doing the professional route, and I'd say you're probably the next big profile name that's actually doing it professionally. Why do you think a lot of these U.S. players aren't taking the professional route?
I think it's a pretty simple answer, especially with a lot of the top U.S. players going to Ivy League schools. There's a lot of pressure to go into finance after that, especially at my school in particular. I mean, all my friends are recruiting or going into investment banking already or at investment banks currently. I'd say 95% of my friends recruited into investment banking. So, I mean, if you look at that and then try and tell yourself, oh, I'm giving up whatever it is, 170 grand a year to play squash and maybe make half that in my first couple of years, unless it goes super well, probably less than half of that. It's definitely a hard sell. I think having the Olympics bid and getting in for LA 2028 may have turned a lot of heads, especially for the younger generations. So we'll see what happens with them. But I think for my generation and older, that was definitely most of, if not all of their thought processes going into the decision of whether to go pro or not.
Was the Olympics a huge factor for you personally?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, being an Olympian would be probably the coolest thing I could do in my life, I would say. And having as many US pros as we do currently, I think probably around, I don't know, I don't want to get this wrong, like 9-ish, current US pros that are still traveling and playing tournaments consistently. I mean, you have a pretty good chance there to make an Olympic team if you think about it.
Numbers game.
Right? Like, you look at those numbers and it's hard to turn down in my opinion. Turn down the opportunity to try at least. I know that if I hadn't gone this route and gone into banking or in finance, I probably would have regretted it for a while after watching the 2028 Olympics and seeing friends of mine play on that team and not having given it a shot. So also, like, finance will always be there. My body will at one point break down on me and I won't be able to play the sport anymore. So, I mean, at least give it a shot while I can and while I'm healthy.